Hi, friends! I have a Christmas story for you today. It's called Mortimer's Christmas Manger, and it's one of my favorites. I hope that you'll enjoy it too. It's about Mortimer, this tiny little mouse who learned something really special about Christmas. So let's find out and see what it is. In a big house lived a wee mouse named Mortimer. He dwelled in a dark hole under the stairs. See his little hole? It's got some spider webs in there, some Lego, lots of fun things. Nobody ever noticed little Mortimer, and he liked it that way. But he didn't like his hole. It was too cold, it was too cramped, and too creepy, squeaked Mortimer. Each day he snuck out and crept about, looking for crumbs and tidbits. And one day Mortimer spied something new. What he spied was wonderful. He saw a huge tree covered with twinkling lights. Nestled on top was a bright shining star. Then something even better than the tree itself sat next to it on the table. See there, right there. Mortimer sighed with delight. A house just my size! But the house was so high and Mortimer was so low. "I'll climb up the tree," said Mortimer. It made a perfect ladder for a mouse. Up, up, up Mortimer climbed, and down, down, down came the ornaments. Can you see Mortimer up in the tree? I see him. Finally he reached the table. "Perfect," said Mortimer. "Not cold, not cramped, not creepy. It's cozy. But who are you?" Mortimer had never seen people so small, almost as small as himself, and he had never seen such strange animals either. Tap, tap, tap. Mortimer knocked, but no one answered. Tap, tap, tap. No one moved an inch. "I see," squeaked Mortimer. "You aren't real. You're statues." And so Mortimer lugged and Mortimer tugged, and one by one he dragged the statues out. Look at him there. Can you see him? He's pulling out all of those statues. When he reached the smallest statue, he saw that it was a baby in a wooden bed just Mortimer's size. "There's no room for you here," Mortimer said. "Out you go." Then into bed crawled Mortimer. He fell fast asleep in the soft, warm hay. Doesn't he look so cozy there? The very next day, as Mortimer crept about, he found good things to eat, like cookie crumbs and fruitcake morsels and spicy peppermint candy. But when Mortimer scampered back up to his new home, the statues were set up again. "No, no, no," squealed Mortimer. "This won't do. There's no room for me." And so, what did he do? Mortimer lugged and Mortimer tugged until all the statues were out. "And stay out," he said. And then into bed crawled Mortimer. He fell fast asleep in the soft, warm hay. Each day, while Mortimer scurried about, the statues were set up again. Can you see Mortimer? He's right down there. There he is. He's playing with a drill, I think. And each day, Mortimer always lugged and he tugged the statues back out. And then one day, Mortimer set out and he saw the big people. You see the big people? That's the family. They're all sitting there by the tree. And there's Mortimer. Can you spy Mortimer? He's over by the statues. He saw the big people gathered around the tree. He couldn't go out there, but he hid among the statues, and the man started talking. Mortimer listened, and what Mortimer heard was wonderful. "Since it is Christmas Eve, I shall tell this Christmas story," said the man. "A long time ago, in a little town called Bethlehem, Mortimer heard about people named Joseph and Mary and a bright shining star, and he heard about the shepherds watching the flocks by night and traveling wise men," the man continued. "And then there was no room for them in the inn. And then Mortimer heard about a baby who was born in a stable and had no real bed to sleep in but a wooden manger, a baby born to save the world. And his name shall be called Jesus," said the man. Mortimer looked at the bright shining star on the tree, and he looked at his new home and his new bed, and he looked at the statues. Last of all, he looked at the baby. "I see," sighed Mortimer. "You aren't just any statue, you are a statue of Jesus." Mortimer sniffled and Mortimer snuffled. A tear rolled down his furry cheek. "There was no room for you in the inn. But I know where there is room," he said. And so, what do you think Mortimer did? You're right. Mortimer lugged and Mortimer tugged, and soon he dragged all the statues back to where they belong. Last of all, he laid the baby in the manger. "This belongs to you," he said, and smiled. "You look warm and cozy." Oh, look at Mortimer looking at baby Jesus. Isn't that so sweet? There he goes, down the tree. There was no place for Mortimer to go, except for back to the cold, cramped, creepy hole. As Mortimer scuttled down the tree, he said a prayer. "Dear Jesus, you were born to save the world. Perhaps you could bring me a home." And then Mortimer spied something new, and what he spied was wonderful. Mortimer sighed with delight. A house just my size. There were no statues in sight. What did he find? Can you see? And so guess what Mortimer did? Mortimer moved right in. "Thank you, Jesus," said Mortimer. "You've made room for me too." Can you see Mortimer? He's peeking out the window. The end. That's my story about Mortimer and the Christmas manger. He learned that Jesus was born to save the world and that we can make room for Jesus in our lives, and Jesus has room for us. Merry Christmas, everybody.